Hello. Today I'm going to be explaining how this mousetrap car relates to Newton's three laws, how I built it, my first few tests. First off, for the first law, it states an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. So for instance, if this is just sitting here, unless if it's on a slanted ground, it will not move. If it is moving, then it will continue moving. And then it relates to the second law, because the second law is F equals ma. So the more force, the more acceleration, because force equals the mass and acceleration. So if you have the force, which would be the mousetrap, that's moving the mass. Oops, that trigger there. It's moving the mass of the body. That accelerates it, and that's what makes it go. And then the third law says that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Like you just saw there when I moved my mousetrap car, this arm here, attached to the mousetrap, when I activated it, it went like this, pulling a string of fishing wire that I have on this end, that I just had reeled up along my rear axle. So this movement of this arm made the axle spin. So for every action, there's an equal and or opposite reaction, which would be the axle on the wheels. Okay, now on to how I built it. First off, I started by going to my supply store, buying a whole bunch of wood glue, a mousetrap, balsa wood, and some sort of wood skewers, some zip ties, and fishing wire, of course. I also needed a hot glue and hot glue gun, but I already had that at home, so I did not need to go get that. I also had zip ties at home. So what I did first off was creating these two main beams here and here to house the structure. So I made that, and I attached the mousetrap with wood glue to this platform of balsa wood. Then once I had that all together, I put this platform against these two things of balsa wood. And then once that was done, I added the stuff on the underside, and I modified my mousetrap, because usually there would be another bronze peg right there. Instead, I just used some wire and twisted around the bottom. I put the wheels on. I made wheels out of CDs to reduce friction, because the thinner the wheel, the less friction it has against it. And I also put graphite in between the wheels and the hole, because graphite reduces friction, thus making it go farther. Also, when you set it up, I made a little loop at the end of the fishing wire, if I can even turn this out. Right there, it's a bit blurry on that. Right there. Not sure if you can see it or not. Yeah, but there's a little loop there that I'd put against this zip tie and reel it up. I can also make it go forwards a certain distance and come back again, because if you reel it one way and then you reel it the other way. So now you saw how I did it, and now you saw how I made it, or I told you how I made it. Now, talking about the first two tests that I did at home, or the first three. So first off, I would test it down my hallway, which wasn't very far, about 8 meters. And it successfully narrated that. It even went a bit off-road, went over my two carpets that I have, and my tile entryway. Then for my second test, after modifying the wheels a bit better, adding graphite, and making my improved mousetrap using the bronze wire on it, it was on a slight downhill, so like that, I guess. It's a little bit downhill, if you look at my hand, it's like that. So, a bit downhill. It went around 22 meters, which is really good. And then finally I did my actual good test at school in the hallway. It went 18 to 16 meters roughly, and then it ended up running into something, so if there's nothing in the way, it had a wider space like in my parking garage, it would have gone a lot further. So our final tests are tomorrow. I'm hoping that this will go the same length as it did the other time that I tested at school. And yeah, so what I did in between each test is I tweaked little things. For instance, now when I reel it up, I actually have the zip tie there. And when I first tried it, I used thinner CDs. Now, those ended up going a bit crooked, so I ended up not using them. I used the standard Vector mousetrap. They're like 99 cents for 2 at Canadian Tire. And each time I did something different, because first test I didn't have these little zip ties keeping the axles from moving side to side too much. And then the next test I didn't have the improved mousetrap. In the next test I didn't have the little loop in the fishing wire. And then I also added some more glue to the wheels, straighten them out. I tried I tried to drill a hole in here, but it ended up snapping, so I had to make a whole new axle. I also put supports on the inside just in case if the force of the mousetrap, which I was anticipating to be a bit stronger, would do anything. So at the end, after scraping some wood glue off the sides, making it more aerodynamic, cutting some of that glue off the sides and the insides, I thought it was ready for testing at school. So now tomorrow for final testing, I'm going to see how far this can roll. And in your hand, it looks like it can roll pretty far. So I'm going to show you right now how to set it up. First, you grab your string. You're going to have one hand closer to the hole. Hold that straight, and then you're going to loop it around your zip tie on the back. And then you're going to want to put it on one side and stay on that one side, and you're just going to have it pull your wheels backwards because it's going to move forwards. Now I'm not sure what the mechanical advantage of it is, but I know that in some videos, especially from the person that actually invented it, they're always talking about mechanical advantages. And this mousetrap cars are typically used in high school physics, but I'm going to use it for Newton's 3 laws. So once I've reeled it up a bit tighter, just let me finish this up, it's kind of hard. So here, I'm going to just put it like this, then you can see what I'm doing. So I just am holding it straight and reeling it up. And I have that one little loop around the zip tie right there. Just going to roll it up a little more. Okay. So now that it is straight, and I just need to hold the wheels, now I'm going to be making this arm move all the way back. And I'm just going to spin it like this, and spin it, spin it. And eventually, once it's done, I'm actually going to have to activate the mousetrap like usual, put the arm down, and to make it actually spin longer without it driving a little backwards once it's outputted its full force in the mousetrap, I actually have to tape it off the loop. That way, it doesn't just go reverse for a meter or so. You also want to make sure that it doesn't go too close to the zip tie or too close to the axle. Otherwise, it's going to catch and it won't go as far. It won't stop. Actually, one of the things about this is that with DVD wheels, you have good friction for a long time. But then if you're going for short, strong races, that's also good. Because a mousetrap car has a lot of torque in it. Because if I start off here, I can go like that, and that isn't even activating the mousetrap yet, and that has tightened that up. So now when I do it, I'm going to hit the mousetrap. First I just need to unroll it right here, see? I'm just going to try and get this off after. So you just are going to take it off right there. If I can even get it off. Okay, there. So I have it off now, and now I'm going to activate the mousetrap. 3, 2, 1. As you can see, it spins quite a long time freely, And as you can see there, I messed up. I reeled it too close to the zip tie, and it went reverse for a little bit, and it stopped. That's another cool function about mousetrap cars. You can make it go forward and backwards. Thank you for listening to the whole thing. And hope I do well on the main test tomorrow. Bye.